And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Beanpickers, there it is. And Karen Foresti Hempson is the author. How much time did you spend on the research for this book?
5 years. But that's not including the taping that I did of my grandparents when I was in college. I sat down with my two grandmothers and got a lot of information about the old country and what life was like trying to get jobs here. Then I even interviewed my parents as well. So I kept those cassette tapes for 40 years. So that was another, I didn't realize, another piece that I brought with me wherever I moved to. And I had them transcribed to a thumb drive so that, because the tapes were so delicate. So I just can't believe how much information I had forgotten about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You must thank God that you made those tapes.
do.
Huh? Yeah.
I do.
So 5 years worth of research, and how long in the actual writing of the book?
That's so hard to gauge. I would say maybe the first 2 years was research and writing stories and clips. It didn't occur to me when I was writing these stories that to focus on there's 8 individuals whose stories were just so compelling that I decided then to divide up so it occurred to me as I was doing it to focus on those 8 characters.
And you can pick this book up really at any point and read it because you're reading about individual families. How did you decide what families? There are so many out there.
Yes. Well, pretty much I focused on my family and my great uncles, my aunts, my people who I felt they opened up to me so much, you know, that I remembered their story and tried to write down. Now, this is not a documentary. This is creative nonfiction. So it's written like fiction. And you could pick it up at any chapter, even though all the characters are related. So I feel that you would, if you want to hear just about one of the beanpickers who went into the military, all 8 characters tried to escape poverty. I mean, that's the whole idea. They came here to America, was to get a better life and to improve their lives. And so they all found different ways, either through bootlegging or trying to get into professional baseball or the military. So I found also that the women's lives were very, very compelling. I mean, they bore 6, 7 children. They went to work in the mills every single day. Came home, like my grandmother, for example, her husband in 1928 was buried alive in a construction cave-in. And the only reason why he stayed alive was they were laying pipes. So he was able to breathe through one of the large pipes. It took them 45 minutes to dig him out. And he broke both arms, both legs, his collarbone. He was in the hospital for 9 months. There was no workman's compensation back then or welfare. And you got whatever the company felt was your compensation for it. So then my grandmother was pretty much poverty-stricken to just raise her family for 9 months on just her wages alone. And then she would come home from work. She would lean on the two brothers, the 2 older brothers, to help watch the kids and cook and clean. And then she would walk the tracks from Tilden Ave to Genesee Street to visit her husband every night at St. Elizabeth's Hospital.
The book is loaded with pictures, mostly your pictures, right?
I inherited like 4 boxes of pictures and documents that, even artifacts that my parents thought were very valuable, and some of them I hadn't seen until after they died. And when I retired, I looked through some of these boxes thinking, wow, these were very important to them. So,
what kind of artifacts are we talking about?
Well, my father escaped poverty through the military. He, in 1937, joined the Navy at 17 years old. He was the oldest of 6 children. He bore the brunt of a lot of the family burden. And he told his dad, please sign here because I'll be one less mouth to feed. I'll send you money. So he got into the military, and they promised him that he could become a printer. But
Did he?
no. As it turned out, the war was brewing, and they needed torpedo men. So he ended up being a torpedo man. So he had to study how torpedoes work. And he kept all his life, for all his 70, 80 years, a gyroscope. And gyroscopes are still used today to steady planes.
And you write about that in the book, too.
Yes, yes. So he spent a lot. So he had, I have his gyroscope. I have a model of his torpedo. So he really took his job seriously.
Is this your first book?
Yes, it is.
Is there going to be a second book?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Got some ideas?
I have some ideas,
Yeah.
I continue to write. And you write what you know, and that is the best advice you can give to anybody. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just right now starting the same way I started with this book, just starting to write some stories. And I don't know how it's going to end up.
Well, if you ever get that finished, give us a call and come back.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good. Oh,
it was
you're welcome.
a pleasure.
And the book is on sale at the United County History Center, $20, includes the tax, and it's a good read for anybody that's interested in local history. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. We'll do it all again. Don't forget CNYhomepage.com, lots of good stuff there. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.